I am all in on a Ruthless game. Right now, people are pussies. Oh, this is too slow. This is too hard. I am all in if you want to do a real Ruthless game. Let's go, dude. So guys, I have this video here from Try that is called Former Path of Exile 2 Lead Dev Chokes with a Big Move. And I am going to tell you what the big move is because I saw some news about this, but I didn't go into depth with it because I wanted to do it with you guys. But basically, Chris Wilson, the dude that created Path of Exile, is creating a new studio. Basically, that is what is happening. And he revealed it while talking with the dude that created Diablo 2, or that worked in Diablo 2 somehow, one of the biggest influences in Diablo 2. So hey, let's see. Maybe Try is going to give us the summarization of the talk they had because it was like 1 hour. So let's see what Try says in here about it, dude.
Hey, Titanic news just hit the ARPG industry.
He has the Diablo 2 music in the back. That is a Tristram track.
And it's buried within an excellent interview between the former face of Path of Exile 2 and 1, Chris Wilson, and one of the creators of Diablo 2, David Brevik. An excellent interview, and you should watch it. It is an hour long, though, and there is a bit of a rabbit hole that I've already dove into. So if you don't want...
That is why we are watching your video, Try, by the way, because I can't watch, I yap too much. I can't react to an hour-long video, an hour and a half, because I will be here for 5 hours. So that is why we are watching your summarization so I can just do this quicker, dude. But just talking out of my ass in here about Chris Wilson creating a new company, to me it is weird. Why would you do that? Why not be in GGG? And you will say, no, because GGG is no longer his, now it is Tencent, and maybe he doesn't like the Path of Exile path that it is taken. But all of those moves were made by him. He was the director of the company. He decided to go with Tencent. He decided to take Path of Exile in the path it was taken. Maybe he didn't like it after the fact. Like, he thought that I did a mistake. I don't like how things turned out. At the moment, I thought that was the correct decision. But how things are now, I don't like it. I want to start over. Maybe. That is the only thing that makes sense for me. Because it wasn't like sometimes when you see someone working at Blizzard, but they are a random dude, and you see that the dude goes to another company. You understand where he maybe he wasn't doing what he wanted to do at Blizzard, and he's going to pursue another project at another place. But you are the dude. Everything that happens is your decision. Like, I don't know. Maybe Jonathan can learn a thing or two. Lord, he should let someone else be the director of PoE 2. I think it is the other way around. I think Jonathan is really good at designing. He should focus on that, and all the managerial stuff, hire someone to do that. Someone that is not a gaming Andy, but it is a company Andy, you know? And you can focus on the game designing aspect. Will just be a passion project also, true, that.
To watch it right now, watch this video instead because I have all the information right at hand for you. So if you will all remember, Chris Wilson, longtime face of Path of Exile, longtime head developer for the game, both 1 and 2 by the way, he stopped being a director at Grinding Gear Games officially earlier this year in January. And just yesterday, he announced he has a brand new YouTube channel where he is going to interview game developers and give game development tips. Who knew that he really started his YouTube career all the way back in 2010 when he started narrating all the Path of Exile videos? If you go back into the archives, it is him. Hi, I'm Chris Wilson from Grinding Gear Games, and he explains every single mechanic in Path of Exile. It's kind of crazy, and it was wild hearing it in this video without the from Grinding Gear Games attached. However, very, very soon we'll be hearing him likely use that catchphrase for a very new project. Because yes, you should watch this interview, but buried on his actual YouTube channel is this link right here, Chris Wilson.
I saw this, by the way, because I subscribed to this channel, by the way. I subscribed, maybe he has it over here. Look at it, I am subscribed. I subscribed immediately, and yes, you can see in there the Chris Wilson.gg.
Wilson.gg. And if you go to it, there's a little bit of information about Chris Wilson, of course, about him creating Path of Exile, a link to one of the best talks on
a game developer from Auckland, New Zealand. I have heard that Auckland, New Zealand is fucking beautiful.
Game development I've ever seen as a non-game developer. And then this right here. This is the big bomb, everybody. After running Grinding Your Games for 17 years, I stepped down at the end of 2023. In 2025, I founded Light Pattern, where I am working on an unannounced project with a very small team. And here is the biggest bomb of all. This is Light Pattern that also has an Easter egg on the page already.
This is fucking cool, guys.
Chris Wilson's.
Do you think it's an ARPG or something completely different? What do you guys think? By the way, some people say that Jonathan doesn't know what he's doing, but I think Jonathan does know what he's doing. They are just different, right? And I have heard, I don't know because I came to PoE later, but I heard that Ruthless was created because Chris Wilson liked it. So for the people that don't like Ruthless, Chris Wilson made Ruthless, by the way.
New tiny game development studio, and they are working on a new game. It's a boutique game development studio, and it's unannounced. They're hiring for an art director, and within this, these final two lines are the interesting parts. An appreciation for classic RPGs from the 1990s and 2000s, and a deep familiarity with Diablo 2, not just playing it, but understand what makes its world, art, and systems so enduring. So everyone, I watched that full interview between Chris Wilson and David Brevik, and he did drop some hints as to what he is working on. Lots of people have speculated that Chris Wilson left Grinding Your Games because he was just tired of interacting with the community, and he was tired of game development, and he was just going to ride off into the sunset and retire. Well, he did that for about a year. He joked that he spent this entire year sorting his entire Magic card collection.
I don't think that is a joke. I don't think that is a joke. He probably did that.
And because of that Magic card collection, a lot of people thought he would be making, perhaps in the distant future, a trading card game. Magic the Gathering has always been one of his passions. However, in this very interview, he hinted that this new game that he's working on with a very small team is inspired by Diablo 2, is basically an OG Diablo 2. He also drew the
So it is a fucking ARPG, dude. It is not a card game. It is an ARPG.
distinction between launch Diablo 2 and Diablo 2 with Lord of Destruction attached. And he talked about his disdain for what ARPGs have become today. They are these spreadsheet simulators, and a lot of the vibe, it's just gone. And I kind of see what he's meaning while playing through Diablo 2 the first time. Screw the game mechanics, screw the items, screw all this stuff. The actual just atmosphere of the world, the way it all meshes together, the art direction, the music, just the way that the characters talk to each other, all of it, it's just a vibe, and you do feel like you are.
Yes, that is true. Diablo 2 has that vibe. And I said this in the other video that I reacted to try. Diablo 2 has that vibe for sure. In atmosphere, Diablo 2 is second to none. Listen to the music. He's playing the music for Diablo 2. Nothing comes close to Diablo 2 in terms of the vibe of the atmosphere. But you have to look deeper than that. And this is why Path of Exile is better. Diablo 2 is a game, at least for me, I know that there are uber nerds out there that keep playing it and keep playing it and keep playing it. But without mods, because I know there are mods, I played Project Diablo 2. I know there are mods that give you an endgame. But without mods, Diablo 2 is a game that you go through the campaign, maybe you go to hell difficulty or whatever, and that is a game, right? It is not a forever game. It is not a forever game. Path of Exile is a much more robust game that you can go and go and go and do more stuff and do more stuff and do more stuff, right? It doesn't have the atmosphere that Diablo 2 has, but you can play for more, for longer, and at least for me, it is more satisfying. So you can make another game with that great atmosphere, and it is going to be awesome, and we are going to play it, and we complete the campaign, and we are done with the game. Path of Exile is not a game that you are done with the game. They want you to keep coming back. I don't know if that is what Chris Wilson wants, a game that you play it and you leave it, or a game that you want to keep playing. I am making the distinction because, yes, Diablo 2 is awesome. It is the OG. atmosphere, story, gameplay, all that you want, but it is not a game to be playing all the time. Let's be honest in here, guys. At least I can't. I know there are people that do it. I don't know how the fuck they don't get bored out of their fucking minds. But hey, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Just sinking into this world when you're playing it even 25 years after the release. And it sounds like Chris wants to replicate that, which is what they tried to do with Path of Exile 1 and then again with Path of Exile 2. And I'd argue that Path of Exile 2 is really following in the footsteps of Diablo 2, at least in terms of...
By the way, that is true. In the campaign, the atmosphere in the campaign in Path of Exile 2 is vastly superior for the one in PoE 1, in my opinion. And it is trying to have that atmosphere. It has a really good, cool fucking atmosphere. Still not even close to Diablo 2. But hey, really fucking good. Of the current ARPGs, what are the current ARPG? Last Epoch, Diablo 4, and PoE 2. And even PoE 1 if you want included. I know that Green Dawn is out there, but I have not played Green Dawn. By the way, I bought it because it was on sale in Steam, and it was like $2, $1, I don't know. And I bought it, but I have not even installed it. What is the game with the best atmosphere in the campaign? PoE 2, not even close. But if you include Diablo 2 is the best one.
Atmosphere. However, Chris also elaborated on really why he left. Chris essentially said, I realized I was not enjoying myself managing this studio of 200 plus people and interfacing with all these different departments and not actually getting to design the game. He said he yearned for the days wherein he was just with Jonathan and Eric sitting in their garage making a game. He wanted that back. After spending his 20s doing that and then seeing success so unimaginable that his game spawned a sequel and millions of players, he just didn't want it anymore. He wanted to work on something himself. He wanted to.
So he's answering the question that I had earlier. He's answering the question that I didn't understand why that happened. This is the answer. This is the answer to my question.
Code. He wanted to make those game design decisions. He wanted to make a game that he wanted to play, and he wanted his touch evident throughout the game, along with the team of people he has recruited to begin working on the game. So it sounds like Chris is making an ARPG to compete with Path of Exile 1, Path of Exile 2, Diablo 4, Last Epoch, and everything else on the market right now. However, that's not confirmed, and it will be a few years before anything concrete is showcased by this new studio light pattern. However, there is something that I wanted to.
Yes, by the way, you have to understand, this is just like an announcement of an announcement of an announcement. So the game is years away. When this game comes, Path of Exile 2 will not only be out, it will be out for a while. So at that point, Path of Exile 2 will be like the ARPG in the market when this game comes out. So let's see what happens.
To bring up something really interesting here as a fan of Path of Exile 2 and of Path of Exile 1, and that's the fact that Chris is still in New Zealand. And recently, very recently actually, 2 months ago, we had Rishi, which was a veteran of Grinding Gear Games, leave the studio. We don't know why. I'm guessing Rishi left to start working on Light Pattern's first game with Chris. If you don't know, Chris, big fan of original Diablo 2, big fan, and I think one of the original minds behind Ruthless in Path of Exile 1, which is a game mode in Path of Exile 1 with extreme item scarcity and lots of changing systems. Rishi was the other mastermind behind Ruthless in Path of Exile 1.
Okay, hey, that is awesome.
And Chris.
This is why watching the Try video was better than me trying to go through all this shit. Try is making the necessary connections in here, dude.
Are now working together with maybe a few other people on this new game, and they are really trying to harken back to that.
Hey, I am all in on a Ruthless game. I am all in on a Ruthless game. Right now, people are fucking pussies. Oh, this is too slow. This is too hard. I am all in if you want to do a real fucking Ruthless game. Let's go, dude.
OG era of ARPGs that Diablo 2 spawned. Probably with some modern graphics, some modern mechanics, but really getting down to the atmosphere that Diablo 2 masterfully created and the item grind that they seem to love so much. It's going to be really interesting to see where this goes. but I'd make the case, no matter what happens, you guys, you should try to follow the artists who create the art you enjoy and not necessarily the name of the art or the publisher of the art. And here's what I mean. Chris obviously helped craft Path of Exile 1 and Path of Exile 2. Now he's creating something new. I would give it a shot. Whatever he makes, I'm gonna give it a go.
Exactly, same. It is like when you like a band, and the band, like the guitarist leaves the band but forms a new band, and you listen to the new band to check it out because you liked him in the other band. Well, exactly like this. Or even a team. You like a team in a sports because you like a player, and then the player goes to another team and you follow that team. Something like that.
Just like the creators of Clair Obscur Expedition 33, Sandfall Interactive, the developers behind that, I am going to give whatever they create next a shot. Lorian, the composer, that music, I'm going to listen to his music. Whatever he drops, I'm going to give it a listen, right? This is kind of what happened in reverse with Diablo. People loved the Diablo name because of Diablo 1 and Diablo 2, and a lot of them gave Diablo 3 a shot because they loved those first two titles. Yep. It was created by completely different people. Same with Diablo 4. If Jonathan Rogers were to move on from Grind Gear Games, I would try whatever he had a hand in. Just like with the TTRPG industry, I'm trying Daggerheart now because my favorite game designer from Wizards of the Coast on Dungeons & Dragons, Chris Perkins, the D&D experience is a peak piece of art. He left to work on Daggerheart or just at Darrington Press. I bought this game because I wanted to support the artist and not necessarily the company they were working for. So whatever they actually create and whenever they create it, I'd give it a go. I'm sure it's going to be great. Tell me, what are your thoughts?
I will do it if it is a card game or an ARPG game because I like those both genres. But if it is I know that Chris is not going to do a shooter, but if it is a shooter, I hate fucking shooters, dude.
Thoughts here. Did you expect Chris Wilson to start a YouTube channel? In retrospect, it makes sense. He was always so great in those interviews and excellent in the showcases for Path of Exile. I'm so excited to see what videos he drops. I have the notifications on for that channel, and I'm so excited to see what he actually makes here. I don't know if I'll enjoy it because I can't grind a lot anymore, but I'm sure it's going to have a good atmosphere, and I'm sure it's going to be a good game. So I'm definitely going to give it a go. Make sure if you like the video,
you will be able to grind all you want. Try when you go full time, dude. That is also what I want to do. Go full time YouTube stream and grind more, dude.
Video to give it a like. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel for more Path of Exile 2 and light pattern maybe content. And I will see you in the next one, my fellow exiles. Stay sane and have fun.
Hey, dude, try. Thank you so much for the video, dude. It was a really good fucking summary. And I will still watch the 1 hour long interview on my own time, but for the channel, the summarization is really awesome, dude. Thank you so much, Try. I think it is awesome that Chris Wilson is doing his own thing. He answered my question of why would he do this of going out of GGG to start, because he misses that time of starting from the ground up. Hey, all the best of luck to Chris. I hope it is an ARPG and that it is good. And if it is hard and ruthless, hey, I am all for it, dude. So thank you, Try, for the cool news. And he also linked it with the other guy that also worked at GGG. Maybe he's poaching people from GGG. And we also heard the other day that it was hard to hire people in New Zealand because of the recruitment pool and because of the laws in New Zealand. So they are going to go to recruitment wars, poaching people from each other. That is fucking awesome, dude. What do you guys think? Am I right? Am I wrong? Am I a clown? Am I a genius? Let me know everything in the comments below. I love reading comments even when they don't agree with me. Also remember to like the video, to subscribe to the channel, all that cool stuff. Guys, thanks for being here. You guys are awesome. God bless you. And remember, don't be afraid ever, because this is just a ride.